Well, hello and welcome to the bunker tonight. Tonight we have Wattle and Daub. This is a husband and wife folk artist, folk Americana. They've been playing music for 2014 as a duo, although they have long music histories. Husband and wife, singer-songwriter Tim and Susan Mocarski. I said that right. Oh, I get a gold star. Dedicated to participation, social commentary, and entertainment. Songs range from just plain fun to those focused on what means to being a human in these times. And there's more notes down below. They have a lot of music published out there on Spotify. We're going to hear some of it tonight, not all of it. They have a lot, so I'd encourage you after the show to go check them out. They are friends, I believe, of Lisa Medina. They'll tell us more about that. Lisa had a great show here, also a folk artist. Tonight we have a nice audience: Bob, Linda, Larry, Mary, and Bob. Don. Thank you, Don. And their only job is to make a lot of noise, and they're going to do it right now so we can hear what the sound's like. They're gonna do better than that later, but we'll get to that later.
We're gonna play some things. We have 3 albums out.
We're gonna play some from each of the albums.
Some from each of those, and a couple that we just recorded that haven't been released yet, but
this will be the first airing in the world, probably.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't had many banjos, so I'm looking forward to you hearing your banjo, Tim. The sound check sounded great.
That's the kiss of death there.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we're going to start off with one of our older ones. This is a song that I wrote for Tim not long after we first met.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Love here and gone. Singer at the microphone, right them.
Now I feel like dancing.
Dance me to the moon. Underneath the stars.
Carry me a tune. 'Cause I feel like dancing.
The afternoon, fall into your arms, see you real soon. You took my hand, oh my darling, took me out across the floor and held me in your arms like I've never been held before.
Now I feel like dancing.
Dance me to the moon. Underneath the stars.
Carry me a tune. 'Cause I feel like dancing.
In the afternoon, fall into your arms.
See you real soon.
Bittersweet the time, fonder grows the heart. It's possible I love you more for having been apart. Now I feel like dancing. Dance me to the moon. Underneath the stars. Carry me a tune. 'Cause I feel like dancing. In the afternoon,
Thank you.
When we do shows, we try to mix up the songs between ones that mainly Susan wrote and the ones that I wrote. And so this is one that I wrote. It's on our second album, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, hi, Eric, and hi, Nick.
Oh, Nick Noble's watching.
Nick Noble is watching.
Wow, all the way in Massachusetts. That's great.
Yeah, I can put my pick down now. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Early in the morning, first thing I see, sun through the window and you next to me, and you make it easy. You treat me so kind. That old blue shirt still fits me fine. A glass of brandy, I start sipping at 9. And you make it easy. You treat me so kind. Late in the evening, star shining bright. Last thing I see is you every night, and you make it easy. You treat me so kind. You make it easy. You treat me so kind.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
That's how an audience sounds.
Yeah.
When did you write that song, guys?
I wrote that. Well, it was on our second album, so that came out in 2020. So I must have written it that year or
Before that.
Before that, somewhere around 2019. And Susan wrote.
I wrote Dance Me to the Moon when you went to the Newport Folk Festival the first time,
Right.
because you went without me.
Yeah. Well, we weren't married at the time, and I didn't know you
Well-
that well, and it was one of those bucket list things that I had. And then 2 years later, I took you there, and we've had a blast there every time
We
we've
have
been
had
there.
a blast there.
Yeah.
And hi, Brian. And hi, Don. Aw, thanks, Nick. Okay. we're going to keep going. Let's see. So,
Hang on, I got the A key, right?
yes. I had these ambitions to write a children's album and haven't really followed through on that.
You got about four.
About halfway done, but
Yeah, you got about 4 songs there, 4 or 5.
this is one of them.
Yeah.
This is one of them. So I've been a music teacher for a really long time, longer than I care to say, actually.
Yeah.
But, there are always some kids that need a little extra help. So it's kind of
Yeah.
for the quirky kids.
Yeah, for the very quirky ones.
For all of us. How about for all of us?
Like half the students I taught.
Hey, there's a kid that goes to school with us. I saw the kid today riding on the bus. Do you know the kid I mean? Chewing on a jelly bean. Maybe we could all be friends. Maybe you're purple, and maybe you're blue. Maybe you do some things that we don't do. Maybe you see the world in a different way, but I see you, and you're okay. I saw the kid today sitting on a bench. Doesn't talk to anyone, maybe speaks French. Doesn't say anything, but sure likes coloring. Maybe we could all be friends. Maybe you're purple, maybe you're blue. Maybe you do some things that we don't do. Maybe you see the world in a different way, but I see you, and you're okay. I wonder if the kid feels just like me. Maybe I should ask the kid and then he'd see. I bet that we're just the same. I should ask, hey, what's your name? Do you wanna be my friend? Do you wanna be my friend? Do you wanna be my friend? You don't have to talk a lot. At lunchtime I will save a spot for you. Do you wanna be my friend? Do you wanna be my friend? Do you wanna be my friend? You don't have to talk a lot. At lunchtime I will save a spot for you. Do you wanna be my friend? Do you wanna be my friend? Woo! I made it through that without my headphones. My headphones were like sliding off the back of my head there.
Yeah, that's all right. That would have been a sight to see.
Yeah. Hey, who is Wattle and Daub? Jim Gary? Who's Jim Gary, for that matter?
Hey, we know a guy named Jim
We
Gary.
do know a guy named Jim Gary.
All right, this is a good point for
Yeah.
you guys to look at some of those comments. You've been calling them out, Susan. They're nice. All right. I like the name Tim and Susan. Now, why'd you go with Wattle and Daub? What's the name story behind the name?
After I came back from the Newport Folk Festival, the reason I went there was I needed to get 6 New England states on my bucket list of visiting all lower 48. I needed 3 northwestern states, Idaho, Washington, and Oregon, to fulfill my bucket list of visiting all lower 48 states at one point or another. And so we went to
Okay, too many words, Tim. So we were on a trip out west.
That's right. We were on a trip out
in
west.
a car. We were on a road trip, and we would drive along, and we stopped at a lot of places, but we couldn't stop at every place. So when we see a sign for something and we didn't have time to stop, we just, whoever wasn't driving would Google what that was. So we were in Idaho, and we saw a sign for the Coeur d'Alene Mission, And so we couldn't stop. So we Googled it to see what it was. And it said that it was the oldest building in Idaho.
Right.
And it was built
By the Coeur d'Alene Indians.
the Coeur d'Alene with the missionaries, right?
With the Jesuit
With the
missionaries.
Jesuits.
Right.
And that was built using Wattle and Daub.
Which is,
And then we had to look up what that is, and it's Sticks and Mud, basically. And we said, that sounds like a band name, so maybe
Yeah.
that's our band name. So that's how it came.
yeah.
That was a long story.
That was a long story.
All
Just
right,
a-
all right, Tim. What camera do you look at?
I'm looking.
There
at
we
it.
go.
Yeah, all right. I look at
See
number
it. There we
3.
go.
Yeah, all right. All right. Give me a break.
He is trainable, but sometimes it takes some repetition.
Oh, shut up. The hard part about doing this like this is that you're usually a lot closer to me, and I like to wink at you when we sing a love song, and you can't see if I'm winking.
Well, you wore the hat too, so I can't really see your eyes. But yeah, we're usually 2 feet apart, and we're about 10 feet apart.
Right.
So it's a different situation for us, but we are making do. And
We
we're-
always like to throw,
Right.
throw something new at the band.
Yes, we appreciate that because challenges are
Got to get
how
you
we
out
grow.
of your
right?
comfort zone. That's
Yeah.
what we
Right.
do here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're going to be out of your comfort zone because you sing alone on this one. Huh?
Oh, I do. Oh, we're doing that one. Okay.
That's right. You got your set list there, don't you? Sue?
I do. It's down here by my feet. Yeah.
All right.
So I remember what we're doing. So
All right.
I wrote this song because one of the very first gigs we did together, the write-up about it said that we did Roadhouse folk, which I don't know what that is,
Right.
and Outlaw love songs, which I didn't know any of. So I thought I'd write an Outlaw love song, and this is it. And it's called Outlaw Love Song, and there's killing and violence and stuff in it, but which I apologize for, but it is, after all, an outlaw love song.
Right.
He rode into town that night. He was looking for a fight with 2 boys in his gang who'd done him wrong. But what he found was you instead. You lured my man into your bed with ruby lips. You kissed him hard and long. When I woke and found him gone, I went through a saddle on my horse and rode as fast as we could fly. In the early morning light, he stumbled from your door, and I knew right then one of you would die. Hanging in the morning at dawn, shot that woman down. Before a gun was drawn, she was trying to take my man. Now I'm crying, but I can't go to my grave knowing that she's gone. That man of mine, I love him so I spared his life, even though he fell into your arms and made me cry. So now alone I face my fate, a fiery hell for me awaits. I dug my grave, in it I will lie. I'm hanging in the morning at dawn. I shot that woman down before a gun was drawn. She was trying to take my man. Now I'm crying, but I can't go to my grave knowing that she's gone. Go to my grave knowing that she's gone.
We're gonna.
I think that's the only fictional song that we have.
Yeah. It's what Dolly Parton would have written in the 1800s.
Yes, that's Jolene. If Jolene had lived in, say, 1840. Oh, I don't need that yet.
We've got, let's see, today's the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
How many days till pitchers and catchers report?
About 20 days till pitchers and catchers report. We're baseball fans.
Mm-hmm.
You got your Green Bay Packers, your Detroit Lions and Chicago Bears. There's Vikings up in Minnesota. No one really cares. There's other teams, there's other sports, and they go by many names. But to me, in the land of the free, there's only one American game. And I don't need to see those pearly gates. Don't need no angel halos glowing. There better be some baseball up in heaven, or I'm not going. My daddy took me to Comiskey Park. I don't recall the date. Yankees were in town that day. They mantled at the plate. They swung hard from the left side, even harder from the right. Mickey had 2 homers on a double-header night. And up at Wrigley Field, wins weren't easy, I must admit. But I got to see Stan Musial get his 3,000th hit. He was Stan the man, played for the dreaded Cards. Cost the Cubs the game that day. Man, they still played hard. Oh, I didn't need to see those pearly gates. Everything, no angel halos glowing. Better be some baseball up in heaven, or I'm not going. My friends and I would gather, Bob and Larry, down at the local park. Started there each morning, played till it got dark. It was summertime and hot, the grass was green and fine. We stayed there all day long till Mom called for supper time. Back in those good old days, you know there were no lights. 'Cause if there were, we'd still be there, playing through the night. Oh, we didn't need to see those pearly gates. Didn't need no angel halos glowing. There better be some baseball up in heaven, or none of us were going. Now, since I wrote that song, there's been some changes in my life. I lost some loved ones like most folks do, and I found me a second wife. And a lot of things happened that I never thought I'd see while I was still alive. Like those White Sox winning the World Series in 2005. And I lived through almost all of a 108-year-long dry spell. But in 2016, those Cubs, they made it freeze down there in hell. So I'm ready to see those pearly gates. And I'll put up with those angel halos glowing. But there better be some baseball up in heaven, or there's no point in me even going.
Oh, that's a great song.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick, too.
All right. Somebody asked which one's Wattle and which one's Daub.
Our standard answer is it depends who's had what to drink and how much.
Oh, that's a great answer.
We're interchangeable.
Yeah, we're interchangeable. Sometimes, like at a Mocarski wedding.
Oh, stop now.
Let's see, this is in G now, right?
Yes, yes, sir. And our other baseball song for the evening, although it's not really about baseball.
No, you wrote this.
I wrote this.
This is our first album.
Is it?
Yeah, it's on our
Okay,
first album.
I guess it is. I wrote this before the 2016 election.
Yep.
Yeah.
A long time before that.
Yeah. Anyway, it's called Sandlot Boys.
It's got a chorus that people can sing along with.
Sure, sing along at home
Or here.
or here. Sandlot Boys played all day, got along just fine. Things were going okay till that long hit ball. It was hard to say if it was fair or foul. This is a chorus. You sure you're right? You know they're wrong. They think the same. Getting along ain't easy in the world when you don't belong on that side you're not on. The boys at bat said they scored a run, but the other team thought that they were still tied at one. They threw their gloves on the ground and the game wasn't fun anymore. You sure you're right? You know they're wrong. They think the same. Getting along ain't easy in the world when you don't belong on the side you're not on. In the park, they loved that game, but one threw a punch and called another a name. Their attention turned quickly to laying blame as the sun started going down. They walked home alone on different sides of the street, not saying a word, just shuffling their feet, and that park's been empty now for over a week. To this day, they still don't speak.
Sing it with us.
You sure you're right? You know they're wrong. They think the same. Getting along ain't easy in the world when you don't belong on the side you're not on. You sure you're right? You know they're wrong. They think the same. Getting along ain't easy in the world when you don't belong on the side you're not on. Thank you.
I like that. Honey, I can't read my chat thing. Was there any?
Nick said this is Susan's metaphoric baseball song, a subtly nuanced topical commentary on public discourse in this divisive era.
Way to go, Nick.
That says it all.
That's right. It does.
Yeah.
We've got 4 more
So
songs.
far, that's my favorite.
Well, thank you very much,
Neat,
Fletch. And by
neat
the
chord
way,
changes, neat lyrics. I'm sorry.
Thank
Susan,
you.
I cut you off.
no, I was
that's
just
all
going to say my guitar sounds so good.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
As opposed to banjo.
We charge extra for that. We'll
Okay.
hit you up after the
All
show.
right. Fair enough.
This is a song that Susan wrote after the most recent election.
What?
That's what's next.
It says Washington, Illinois next.
Washington, never mind.
Okay, never mind, because this doesn't have anything to do with the election.
No, this
Not
hasn't.
this one, anyway.
Right. You want to explain
Yeah, well, so...
about your new friends that you made in Champaign?
Yeah, in 1979, late 1970, 78, 79, anyway, I graduated in 82, that I remember. I left my little hometown for the big city of Champaign-Urbana.
Yep.
And as you do when you go away to college and you're meeting 40,000 of your new best friends, they say, where are you from? And I would say, Washington. And they would say, D.C. or the state. And I would say, Illinois. And they didn't know where that was. So I pretty quickly learned to say Peoria instead of Washington because nobody knew where Washington was.
And some people still don't know where Peoria is.
But I'll tell you what, a lot more people know about Washington, Illinois now that I've been singing this song. So hopefully.
That's right.
Yep. Okay. It's all true. Everything in the song is true.
And there is a chorus that they can sing along.
Sure.
They'll learn it quick.
This is one of the ones we just recorded.
Right.
Hopefully it'll be out soon. Bob Sheber came home at the end of a long hot day. He was pitching bales of hay, cursing LBJ. His wife Joanne kissed him at the door. The sun's going down, the day is almost gone. They ate with the TV on, news from Vietnam. Walter Cronkite talking about the war. Ooh, and it's not Washington, D.C., where a man's a man and a boy's a boy. Ooh, it's just folks like you and me, growing up in Washington, Illinois. My Uncle Dave owned the meat market on the square. Best chops anywhere, and head cheese if you dare. Conversation while he hands you a sample slice. Did the muffler on your brother's car ever get fixed? But don't talk politics, the blacks and the Catholics. Don't say nothing at all if you can't be nice. Ooh, and it's not Washington, D.C., where a man's a man and a boy's a boy. Ooh, it's just folks like you and me, growing up in Washington, Illinois. Played outside all day in summer clothes, drank water from the hose, had Hank Aaron in the spokes, and went back home before Mom had to yell. The headline said there were 50,000 dead. Had dinner and went to bed. Not a word was said. The window was open and I listened to the rain that fell. Ooh, and it's not Washington, D.C., where a man's a man and a boy's a boy. Ooh, it's just folks like you and me growing up in Washington, Illinois. Ooh, and it's not Washington, D.C., where a man's a man and a boy's a boy. Ooh, it's just folks like you and me growing up in Washington, Illinois. Where I grew up, Washington, Illinois. Thanks, you guys.
That's one of your best ones, honey.
Why, thank you, dear. Brian, this is a Martin M36, in answer to your question. It's my favorite guitar I've ever had, and I used to have an M38, and I loved that one pretty well, but
And you got it from our friend Jim Pine.
I did, in fact. Oh, I need my capo back.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
This is another one. This is the one you wrote right after the election.
I did. I wrote this about November 8th.
Before you move on, I love that song. That is so indicative, because I grew up in the 70s, and I remember the 60s, and Vietnam and everything. Probably a lot of the bunker audience really doesn't remember that, but they read about it in the news.
I think the audience here probably remembers.
The
Yeah, I
audience
think
heard
so
it.
too.
But it was so funny. That was I love the style of it. It's a happy, upbeat melody, and it has all these really harsh words about the reality of it.
Yeah.
And that is so indicative of the folk culture that came out of that period.
Well, thanks for saying that. I think it came out of a discussion I was having with one of my friends, Janet, who may or may not be watching tonight, about how as kids we were just oblivious to what was really going on, and our parents didn't really talk to us
That much, right?
about anything except to say, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it was funny. Back in the day, there was Walter Cronkite, and every night, I learned this. I wasn't actually aware of it in the 60s because I wasn't quite old enough. I was 8, 9, 10.
Right, same.
But in the 70s, all of a sudden, a light went on.
Yeah.
And then you understood where all those songs came from.
Right.
Out of the anti-war movement of the 60s.
Yeah.
And it was
We must be about the same age, Fletch.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll hook up later tonight.
Better not. Otherwise, your wife upstairs will be mad.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Hook up to my generation means
There we
something
go.
different
Okay.
than the current generation.
It does, in fact. It does, in fact. Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, moving on to the 21st century, or not, or moving backwards, whatever it is we're doing these days.
Right.
This is my newest one, and it's called The Winds of 1933.
Yeah, it's been recorded, but we got to get it back from the studio person,
That's right.
and we'll release it as a single soon.
Ready?
Yep. What's it called?
Winds of 1933.
All right.
That's significant.
Right.
It's been raining now for some time. The skies have been so gray. I can hear the thunder rumbling many miles away.
This old house has weathered 100 storms before.
There were times when things around this place looked like a goddamn war.
We should have fixed a few things now it's here, it's looking bad. The devil's coming through.
And all the worries that we had, I think they'll all come true. 'Cause the ones that could have held it shut simply weren't around. And the winds of 1933 just blew the front door down. Thank you.
Thank you. Gonna finish up with two banjo songs.
Okay.
One is slow, and the reason I'm doing it, yesterday was January 20th, and was not only Inauguration Day, which Susan and I dutifully did not watch at all.
Not even a little.
Not even a little. I watched 42 with the Jackie Robinson story. And yesterday was also MLK Day. And it was also, would have been my father's 112th birthday. He was born in 1912. And Don, my brother here, will remember how they used to dance at weddings. They were a joy to watch. My father's name was Buck. He loved his darling Pearl. Ever since the first time he took her for a twirl on the dance floor. Whenever music played, he would take her by the hand. They'd hold each other close and listen to the band on the dance floor. When I sat and stared,
What?
when they took the floor,
Steph.
and I just...
Hang on.
What?
You would watch and wonder, right?
That's right.
You didn't say that.
Oh, I didn't say
No.
that? Okay.
I
I would watch and wonder while I sat and stared. She was Ginger Rogers. He heard Fred Astaire on the dance floor. When they did a two-step, man, they really moved. When they did a polka, there was nothing left to prove. When they danced a waltz and moved together slow, he led, she followed, the way only lovers could know. My father's name was Buck. He loved his darling Pearl. Ever since the first time he took her for a twirl on the dance floor. On the dance floor. On the dance floor.
You got it done.
Yeah, I got it done.
The audience likes it a lot.
I hope so.
Why don't you shout out a little bit of the audience here tonight?
Well, we got my two longtime friends, Bob and Larry, with their wives, Mary and Lynn. And my younger brother, Don, is here. I'm glad he was able to. He was telling me that he told his son he was coming to see us tonight. And he says, well, his son said something about, you better go see him before one of you dies.
It's gallows humor these days,
Yeah,
right?
gallows humor these days. We got one more to do, unless Fletch wants us to do something else.
Well, let's see how this next one goes. I'm not going to get ahead of myself.
Yeah, I don't know. That last one is, yeah.
I don't know what the last one would be anyway.
No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
It's fine.
When did you write On the Dance Floor, Tim?
A couple of years ago, I wrote it. I was just thinking, we had gone to a wedding, and I remembered seeing some couples there dancing, and I remembered my mom and dad and how I used to admire how ginger they were on the dance floor. No matter what the dance was, they just looked like two people madly and passionately in love with each other.
Well, and thanks to your niece, Julie,
thanks to my
there's
niece
a
Julie.
video, we have a video up on YouTube, believe it or not, of that song, and you get to see Buck and Pearl dancing in that video.
There's a couple of other pictures of them that are on there, but
Yep.
she came up with one of them dancing. I think they were dancing a two-step or a polka at the time, but they were really moving.
It's great to see, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got one last one here
Yep.
that is based on. The title is based on a John Hartford song, but it has nothing to do with John Hartford, just the title. It's called I'd Rather Be a Hippie Than a Railroad Man. I was just a young man, I set out on my own, in no direction, no place to go. I started walking, moving kind of slow, didn't know where I was going. One thing I didn't know, I'd rather be a hippie than a railroad man. Rather be a hippie than a railroad man. I took some jobs here and there, the pay it wasn't fair. I didn't have a wife or kids, I didn't really care. I moved around from town to town, breathing good clean air. Thumbed some rides along the way just to get somewhere. I'd rather be a hippie than a railroad man. Rather be a hippie than a railroad man. You can say I roamed a bit before I settled down. Found a girl I loved in a nice Wisconsin town. Soon there were careers, a family came around. I love my wife and kids, but one thing that I found, I'd rather be a hippie than a railroad man. Rather be a hippie than a railroad man. Do 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 do. I should have brought all the kazoos. Well, I stuck it out for 40 years, that's what good men do. The woman that I loved is gone, both my kids ungrew. And now I get the feeling my work is almost through. But before I leave this town, parting words for you. I go and be a hippie, not a railroad man. Go and be a hippie, not a railroad man. Do again, honey. Do 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 do
On that happy note.
On that happy note, y'all go out and be hippies now.
In my humble opinion, if you have another song, play another song.
Do we have another song?
Do you remember the chords for Patch of Blue?
I think so.
All right. I'm going to take this off here.
So Tim wrote, I have very little to do this other than arranging the guitar part for it. So Tim actually wrote it, and
A friend of ours came up with the melody, and he and I have a 50-50 agreement when we make...
thanks, Tammy.
Tammy? Who's Tammy?
Tammy Shepard.
Oh, hi, Tammy Shepard.
Oh, yeah. All right. Before you play this, let's look up the comments. Shout out some names. You have a nice audience here tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Brian
much,
and
everybody.
Nick and Eric was here, and Jim Gary and Tammy. Very nice to see everybody. Thanks for coming to our to our performance without having to leave your nice warm house.
Right. We're in a nice warm bunker.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Warm enough.
With
Yeah,
nice
I
warm
should say
people.
that. You guys traveled down here and came into the house when it's like 0. Actually, it's probably, you're going to leave when it's like -4.
Yeah.
Right. But it's warming up tomorrow.
There's no bad clothes, according to Tim Walls. No bad weather. They're just bad clothes.
Oh, okay.
That's what Tim Walls says. But he's from Minnesota. You know how those are.
Right.
Those people up there.
They're too nice up there.
They're nice and they're weird. They like cold and stuff.
Oh, but I remember all the words for this one.
I hope you do too. I'll try and help you.
All right, good.
It's called Patch of Blue.
Some people follow rules, and others act like fools. I'm no different than anyone. I've done some bad things too. But when I get confused and don't know what to do, I just think of you. You're my patch of blue. I like walking on clouded days. I love getting caught in the rain. No need to explain the lonesome whistle of a southbound train. I don't know who or what to blame, but one thing keeps me sane. I just think of you. You're my patch of blue. Play that pretty part now.
Almost.
When I'm feeling all alone and nothing rings quite true, I look up at the sky and I just think the sunshine peeking through.
You're my patch of blue.
When I'm feeling all alone and nothing rings quite true, I look up at the sky and I just think of you. You're the sunshine peeking through. You're my patch of blue. You're the sunshine peeking through. You're my patch of blue.
And there is proof that you should always practice an encore.
Oh,
I know, he's very sappy.
don't
Yeah.
go anywhere quite yet.
We won't.
Tim
Okay.
and Susan, Wattle
Thanks,
and Daub.
Fletch.
I still don't know who is Wattle and who is Daub.
Doesn't matter.
I'm
It doesn't matter.
I'm thinking Tim is Wattle. That's my guess. We'll find out later on.
All right.
Before we go, so Tim, take a look at your phone. Here's your set list, folks, and here's the songs they played tonight. What was the title of the last one, just for the fun of it?
Patch of blue.
Patch of Blue. And you guys get to vote for your favorite song tonight. We're going to play it on the way out. Something we do after every show. Nice audience here tonight. If you have a chance, leave a thumbs up and a thumbs up like on the video, and that will help spread the word about Wattle and Daub. I really enjoyed this show. It was, again, the Buskers has everything from like 18-year-olds up to like 35. Our typical audience is like 18 to 35. And but you guys are my generation, so I can relate to that. And that's very cool. That,
And your audience is your generation, too.
yeah, well, no, actually, my audience is younger. But you
No,
guys,
this audience, I
oh,
mean.
this audience, oh, live. Yeah, thank you so much.
Hey, Lisa.
Very nice audience. So here's the set list. You guys are going to. There's enough people here, and if you don't type in something for your favorite song, they're going to have to choose their own.
Don't make us do that. It's hard to choose one of your children.
Oh, a couple things to do on the way out. Please like and subscribe to The Bunker. We do this solo artists on Tuesdays, bands on Thursdays. We're going into our fourth year. This is show number 198, I believe. Or almost coming up on number 200. Well, once again, I've been your host for The Bunker tonight. And let's have one more audience clap for Wattle and Daub. Thank you, audience. Yeah, I'll give you guys a shout out again too. That was nice. You brought one of the best audiences I've had in a long time.
Hey, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
They don't hoot and howl, but they clap very loud. Bob, Linda, Larry, Mary, and Don. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Not enough votes to be significant. You guys pick the song.
Then let's go with
Washington, Illinois.
I voted for that, too.
You know, I like that one too. That was very cool.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, while I cue that up, you have some closing comments about what you want to tell the audience. Do you have gigs coming up and that kind of stuff, more recordings? You tell the audience what I'm going to do, and I'll bring that up, and then we'll close it out.
We will be at Katie's Cup in Rockford on February 1st.
Right, in the White Lilac in Kenosha on March 28th. That's a relatively new venue in Kenosha that we're looking forward to playing. We've never played there before.
Looking forward to that. We have a website where all of our things are. It's Wattle Daub Music without the and in it. Wattle Daub Music, WATTLEDAUB
Music.
music.com. All of our events are there.
We have our CDs on our website. If you want to download things, you can go to Bandcamp. That's Wattle Daub Music 1.bandcamp.com. You can go to our web. You can get
All the links are there.
yeah. All the links are on the website and stuff. And
We have
things like that.
Facebook and all that stuff too.
Right. What other events we have? Oh, we're going to Scotland in August.
Yeah.
We're sort of
September.
Are you going to play there?
No.
Well, we're sort of touring with Chuck Brodsky, but
Yeah,
Well-
we can say that, but the touring isn't us playing.
Right.
We've had a couple bands from Scotland, the Tuckers and Box of Tracks.
Oh,
who have
we
come
can't
here.
wait. We're going on a music tour, but it's
Right.
not us. So we're going to hear other music. So we're looking forward to that.
Right. We got a gig or two lined up in Milwaukee and Madison.
Two Way Street Coffeehouse in September.
Right.
Things like that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tim and Susan. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thanks for having
We've
us.
had fun.
And it
What a
was
good time.
fun show, great songs,
Thank you.
and I hope you had a good experience. I think you did.
It was great.
Yeah, we'd
Really
love to
fun.
come back sometime.
You're invited.
Okay.
Thank
Come
you.
back. As a matter of fact, you can stay here tonight. So,
Well, it might be cold enough that the cars don't start. So who
Who
knows?
knows?
thank you, everybody. Have a great night, and we will see you not for a couple weeks, but tune into the bunker, and we'll see you then.